This is Planet of Lana. It is a platformer and a puzzle game primarily. It also has stealth elements. It is it's kind of a War of the Worlds sort of game. I know it doesn't look like it on first glance. You see the nice, relaxing scenery and everything. Think everything's gonna be okay, but of course, suddenly it isn't. So, um, yeah, it is. Let me see if I can. It just said you could do chapters, unlocked chapters. Okay, yeah. So I can show off the initial chapter. Um. So I think this is the intro. I might just skip this. Can I skip it? No. Oh, it's short anyway. So here we have who I presume is Lana. There, as far as I've been in the game, there hasn't been any dialogue, like actual dialogue. They just say each other's names and then speak a indecipherable language. I guess it could be an actual language, and I just wouldn't know. That is definitely a possibility. But so here's kind of how it controls. It's I do have some hitching, which I don't really understand why that's a thing. Shouldn't be getting that, but I guess we'll just kind of ignore that. So you're walking around, running around, trying to chase your friend. I think her name is Elo. Kind of getting you familiar and comfortable with the controls. Nothing crazy, to be honest. It's very simple platformer controls. But the game is very beautiful, and that's definitely one of the big draws, right? It's like it kind of reminds me of walking simulators, but on a 2D plane. I guess that's one way you could kind of explain it to somebody. What all that really means is that you're going from one area to another. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of just kind of enjoying the scenery, enjoying the feeling that the game has, the atmosphere and everything. There's a lot of that in this game from what I've experienced. And of course, there are definitely parts that aren't that, which you'll see in a minute. But at the beginning, you know, it kind of gives a gives you a feel for the atmosphere of this planet. I'm not really sure why it's called Planet of Lana. Other than, you know, I think my character's name is Lana, so maybe this is just Lana's planet. It's her world. Or him? Or they? Let's go with they. Not that it matters. But yeah, it is gorgeous. That is definitely something that pops up right away. The first thing you'll notice. And here we have our first puzzle. Now, a lot of the puzzles aren't especially difficult to figure out. There's a lot of this where it's just you can tell what the way to solve the puzzle is right away. You just have to kind of do it. And that's fine. Like I'm not someone that really cares too much about puzzles in games. Like, to be honest, this isn't necessarily my kind of game overall. Although it can be nice at times if I just want something to, kick back, relax, have like an experience. But overall, I'm more into RPGs, big stories, epic fantasy, all that stuff. I guess in some ways this is like not fantasy necessarily, more sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Dad, they're saying ELO, and I assume that is not the League of Legends term, and definitely this person's name. But I guess I couldn't say for sure. Oh, what's that in the background? This is what I was talking about. There are definitely different kinds of atmospheres that this game brings to the table. We experienced the first one, peaceful, chill, and here's the next one. Definite War of the Worlds vibes. Aliens have come to the planet. I assume they're aliens. I guess they could just be, elsewhere on the planet residents, but they're coming out of the sky. So I assume aliens. And I'm sure as you go further into this, you'll learn new things about them. There they are in the background. This is one thing that I was talking about before. I feel like you have to kind of be in a certain sort of mood for this sort of game, because there are definite moments that are not really action moments. They're just kind of like chill moments that you're meant to absorb the atmosphere, and the game kind of lets you process it. The visuals are really cool, so that definitely helps with that. Like, check that out in the background. Thing's crazy. But yeah, it's not gonna be, exciting, action-packed craziness 24/7, right? So if you're the kind of person that is looking for that, or looking to be absorbed in some sort of gameplay at any moment, maybe it's not really your thing as much. Oh, we gotta crouch here. But this is where the stealth elements of the game kind of start to come in. We have these aliens looking around for you, the little robot dudes. And if they spot you, it's not good. Don't really want to be trapped in one of these cages, taken away by giant War of the Worlds robots. Doesn't sound too great. So here, I'm gonna let the robot see me. Let's see what happens. Come here. Boom, dead. So, they're kind of ruthless. For being honest, they're a little bit ruthless, I think. just blast you, and they're like, whatever, dude. Get murdered. See ya. So it's kind of an interesting contrast, right? Like, the game overall, it has this, like, very awe-inspiring visuals sort of thing going. More along the lines of calm and peaceful than anything else. Here's another thing. You gotta press one button and pull back to kind of pull this out. It's like kind of puzzly, right? It's not anything that's going to be crazy to figure out. Then we have this new robot. Let's see what this one does. It's on me. Boom. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what happens when the robots take you out. And it doesn't affect you too much. You're not going to go back like 20 minutes or anything. So it's not too punishing, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on what you're looking for, right? Ooh. Alright, let's get over here. But as you can see, there's not a whole... I'm sure it changes later, right? At least a little bit. But there's not a ton of gripping gameplay. It's definitely more thoughtful, more along the lines of one of those sort of walking simulator style games. The focus is more on the atmosphere and how it makes you feel the things that you see and all of that. Now Lana is running up this hill thinking about what just happened. It does a good job of kind of conveying the experience just through the gameplay. Because see, right now I'm not slowing down. But I still have to hold the stick to go over, right? So it's kind of making you feel what the character is feeling. Does a really good job with that. There we go. Giant War of the Worlds death robots in the background. Okay, well, there it is. That is Planet of Lana. It is out now on Steam. It's I think it has done pretty good with reviewers from what I've seen. I haven't taken too much of a look at that. I thought I saw some like 8, 9 out of 10s from various people. I think it's cool. It's again not necessarily something that I would go looking for. Unless I was in a very specific mood, so maybe you're like that, maybe you're not. Maybe this is your jam. So, it's like I said, it's more of like a puzzle, atmospheric platformer sort of game. It's not like a Ori and the Blind Forest style platformer where you're jumping around and there's very tight precision with all the platforming. Although there is some. it's definitely more leaning towards that atmospheric feel, and leaning on that, the visuals and all of that stuff. And there are definitely puzzles as you go through, so it starts to kind of ramp up the puzzles as you go along. Um, and if that's what you're looking for, if that's the kind of game that you enjoy, then definitely give this game a look. It looks really cool. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Check it out. It is on Steam right now. Planet of Lana. All right. Thanks for watching.